Hi, everyone. Hey, what's up? I see Wyatt. Hi, Amy. Hi, Lori. Hi, Grace. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Cliff. Hi, Raymart. And hi, Madeline.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending on where are you in the world. Hi, Eric. So glad that you all are here. You have made the best decision. Tell us where you're from in the chat or just shout out in the chat in the room right now. Tennessee. Wow. Okay. Illinois, Pennsylvania. I see a lot of people coming from the States. So, if you have never been to one of these calls, let me just quickly explain how this works. Raise your hands when you want to share and ask questions, and you'll be asked to unmute when it's your chance. So use the chat to drop emojis and to connect. Um, the reactions button is below. So just make good use of those to engage. And I look forward for your healing journey and what life looks like on the other side, even we don't know how it looks like exactly just yet. All I know is you're in this room, you believe there is more in life, and the key to healing all of your mysterious symptoms is inside your brain. You'll never feel so close to being yourself again by the end of this masterclass. Just so I can get a read of this room, how many of you would like somebody to tell you exactly why you're experiencing your symptoms? Drop a yes in the chat. Okay, I see a lot of yeses. That's great. How many of you want to help yourself and help others to get answers? Type me. Okay, and how many of you want to know the techniques that you're gonna get that you're just gonna supercharge your brain so you can get your life back? Great. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, how many of you are so excited about what Dr. Peng is coming on stage? I want you all, yes, yes, very excited that I want you to get the most out of this class. You want to talk about powerful and training how to reboot your brain? Dr. Tommy normally charges $50,000 just for a day. So, and how many of you pay today? Nobody, right? So you want a value you're going to about to get is insane. How many of you want to remember this in this class? So I'm just going to share a few of how you can get the most out of this class. How many of you heard if you take notes, you can retain more information that you're learning? That's going to be about only 20%. What if I told you there's a way to get to 80%? Would you be excited? Type excited if you want to know. Great. Okay, so would you feel like gonna be capitalizing the time that you're spending with us, right? So the way to do that in this room is through engagement. So with the speaker, with the audience, and with me using the chat. So feel free to share. When I say emoji, drop it. When I say yes, you're gonna say yes. When I ask a question, you're gonna raise your hand. I want you to get the most out of the time here and retain the information because the information is going to be gold. And I want you to get as much out of the rest of the few hours we have as possible because this class is designed for you. So engage with everyone in this room and You want to put your cameras on because Dr. Tommy will teach you better if he can see your energy. So wave at me now if you want to get the most out of this class. I see Eric. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Linda. And Mike. All right. So enough said, y'all. I know you came here for one reason and one reason only. I'm thrilled to introduce to you a remarkable individual who is not just a doctor, but a true pioneer in the field of functional neurology. Dr. Tommy Pang, also known as Dr. T. Pang, is an expert and double board certified in functional neurology and also a content creator with more than 550K follower across the platforms and feature on media platforms like New York Post, Unilad, and Daily Mail UK. His sole mission is to empower you with the skill to maintain or regain a healthy brain and unlock your full potential. Dr. Pan was an acute care nurse for 5 years, and he noticed there is a missing link where conventional medicine is unable to tackle, and therefore embark on a journey in a totally different approach. So he understands what medicine can do and cannot do. After his brain injury, with little progress, seeing multiple practitioners that no one was able to help, he discovered an innovative approach that reveals a hidden secret about how the brain functions and turn textbook knowledge into real-world applications, helping hundreds overcome unexplainable symptoms, including ADHD-like issue, dizziness, low energy, you name it. That are hard to find a word, tremor, and many more. So clients pay more than $50,000 just for one VIP day with Dr. Pang, where he consults people how to get rid of their unexplainable symptoms that no one wants to care. When you listen to him teach, you immediately recognize that he is one of the most knowledgeable teachers you've ever heard. So if you're ready to get to the root cause, get rid of the symptoms, and heal yourself for good, don't worry, you're at the right place. And when Dr. Pang is here, I want you to clap, drop all the clapping and fire emojis, because when he can feel your energy, he'll teach better. And without further ado, please welcome on stage Dr. Tommy Pang.
Hey, what's up, everyone? How is everyone doing? Hey, what's up, Amy, Benjamin, Bobby, Eric, Grace? I saw a lot of people coming today. So I saw people from the state, from Philippines. We have people from around the world. Let me ask everyone a question. How many of you want to know why you have such an unexplained symptoms, but no one can ever tell you why? Drop a yes below if you want to know. Okay, cool. Anyone today would like to know exactly how to get rid of your unexplained symptoms and wake up tomorrow and everything will be gone? How many any one of you want to do that? Cool. Before I start, is that okay if I share my own story why I do this masterclass today? So is anyone here ever like in their life when they wake up, the first moment you feel is, oh, I'm not thinking clearly. I'm like seeing the fog and I don't know, I just can't think, I can't feel myself anymore. When you're trying to go outside, the light is so sensitive, the sound is so sensitive. You can't even go out for dinner, you can't even travel. People need to drive around you. And you feel dizzy, you feel wobbling, but you are not moving. And you go to the doctor, but they don't know what's wrong with you. And they told you you're all fine. Is anyone ever experienced symptoms like that? It's so weird. They do the scan, they do the brain scan, but nothing comes back wrong. Drop me down below if there's something like you. Oh, this for 3 years. Okay. This is exactly how I feel every day 5 years ago. I still remember it was a really clear night in Georgia. Me and my friend Al, we were having a really delicious ramen dinner in Georgia. And we were talking, oh, what we should do next. And then we're driving back home. We're playing our favorite music. But suddenly, boom, we feel our car just shake really violently. And then we look to the left and we only saw two headlights, and we only realized we got hit by a truck of a size of a transformer. I still remember the time. I don't remember the time. How long is the time last? But it lasts forever to me. Al told me, hey, everything will be fine, Tommy, everything will be fine. And then I said, yeah, everything will be fine. And then we still keep talking while the car is spinning and flipping. And then here I am. I walk out alive in one piece. From outside, I look unharmed in one piece. And then for the next few days, I still feel like something's wrong with me. I think like it was, oh, maybe it's just the adrenaline is not being calmed down, or let's just wait one more week. But then one day, my friend Vanessa just asked me, hey, Tommy, why are you keep asking the same question 5 seconds ago? We just literally tell you. And I say, what? What did you just say? And then by that time, I finally realized I have something wrong with me, but I don't really feel it. But all my friends can do it. Not only I cannot remember what is happening 5 seconds ago, my personality even changed. I changed from a really nice person, become like a jerk. I literally hit my friend in the leg, and I lost some of my friends because I become a jerk. Times go by. I don't know how long is it. Maybe few years, 1 year, few months. I went to so many wow. Probably you have been to the same wow. At first, I go to a medical doctor. They said, oh, probably it just post-concussion, but everything seems fine. Yeah, just go back home and take a rest. And I go to see a neurologist. I go to see a ENT. I go to see all the specialists I can find. They order brain scan, CT scan, my brain, physiotherapist, psychiatrist. Everything's fine. They just say, let me give you some medicine. Just have a good night's sleep. And then I look at the thing. It was like antidepressant, painkiller. How many of you been to a doctor that brush off your symptoms, said, oh, you are fine, it's just anxiety, and then give you a bunch of medication and hope you take it and never go back to them? Type a yes down below if that is you. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone. So time by time, all the medication only make me feel worse. And I try to sort different weird way I can find on the internet. I try all the stuff probably you try. I try meditation, Wim Hof breathing, cold plunge, diet, supplement, or even go to a woo um people to try to forgive my childhood wound. Some of them seems help a little bit, make me feel better at that time, but none of them going anywhere. And by the time goes by, I finally come across with a specialist who are specialized to assess someone's brain function and nervous system function. And then I soon realized all my symptoms like light sensitivity, dizziness, eye straining, my personality change, brain fog, even moving slow, the pain is all in my brain. After I know where is my root cause, I heal myself in only just 3 months, while other experts take me nowhere. Anyone here want to heal your symptoms within just 3 months or starting even now today? Type now in the chat if you want to heal just today. Yeah, I can see everyone was so eager to learn today. So after I know my things is in the brain, and when I heal myself, back in the time, I still need to go to multiple experts like this to try to get my brain fixed. I need to go one in here, one in here, and one in here. I probably go to 4, 5. I don't really remember how many. And then they all do really good to my brain. But I realized there's one limitation, probably few. First, every expert only give me one piece of information about the brain. And then I need to do it in the clinic. In 5 years' time, I spent countless of time and more than $300,000 to trying to put up a system like today. And today, I'm gonna give it to everyone to help you fix and understand why the symptoms coming up. So anyone here is ready to know the system that take me from few years only accelerate into 3 months. Type 3 months in the chat if you want to do that. I can just give you the system right now. But before I go to the system straight, I want to address some mistake that people trying to make. But today, I guarantee you, it's about you today. There's no hiding the secret because I've been to where you are. And I have seen enough clients, see them struggle. So the only purpose today is to transform your life. So no more secret hiding up. I'm going to give you everything you need today. By the end of today, you will have the answer and a way to heal yourself. So before we do, let's talk about the number one mistake people do when they're trying to get rid of their symptoms is they're only focusing on the symptoms, but not the root cause. Is anyone here or see a doctor only focusing on the symptoms, but they don't know why? Type root cause down there. So I know everyone is tracking right now. Root cause. That's awesome. That's cool, Palm. Wyatt, Taylor, Grace. So once upon a time, in a village, there's a really beautiful garden. They have a bunch of different plants. They have roses, they have rosemary, they have this kind of tree, pine tree. Probably they don't really live together, but they have it in the same garden. But one day, the garden was the flower just kind of going down. They're turning brown for no reasons. So the villager was really concerned and they start to, is it getting dry? Let me pour more water on it. And then they keep pouring more and more water and even add different kind of bunch of fertilizer on it and even brought into different new plant. Hope the new plant will bring the garden back up to one's beauty. But of course, nothing seems to work. And one day, an old gardener from another village visited this garden. He observed really carefully about and how the villagers is doing. And then the gardener asked them, hey, have you ever checked the soil? And then they said, no, we just keep watering the plant. Shouldn't be just what we are doing right now. And then the gardener kept inspecting. And then he discovered that it's not the plant is lack of water, but it's the soil was infested with pests and eating away the wood of the plant. And then the villagers only know by the time their root cause and the effort was putting into the wrong place because they are only treating what they are seeing, treating the symptoms, but not the root cause. Once they treat the soil, they change the soil to a brand new one, the garden flourish again and even become better. There has more plant, more different plant can go from it. So the story reminds us we need to address what is the underlying issue so that our effort, the time, is not putting in somewhere wrong. So let me ask you this. When you go to see a doctor, for example, let's just take like light sensitivity or dizziness as an example. When you feel everything was so bright, you go to see an eye doctor. And then the doctor look at your eye and then he say, your eyes looks fine. You can see, right? Okay, look at this letter for me. What is this? And you say it perfectly. And then he say, perfect, you're fine. Yeah, just go home, probably just stress, just take some rest. How many of you have been to a similar situation like this? Type me in the chat. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that is having this kind of being mystery. So, but the problem is, if all our body looks intact, there's no harm, I do the scan, there's no tumor, there's no lesion, there's nothing broken inside. You can still walk, you can still feel, you can still eat, you can still sleep. So what is actually happening? If your structure is totally fine, then we should stop thinking it's a hardware problem. Your brain is like a giant AI computer. What we can see is not how it works. Imagine you're looking at the computer. Can you see what is the program, see the digit running behind it? Probably not, because it's all running at the background. So for all your symptoms, it's coming. Guess where it's coming? Let me ask you this. What do you think is the ultimate control of your feelings, your emotion, for your pain, for your digestion? What is the ultimate control that you think it is? Drop a comment below and see if you're smart enough. Gut, brain, I like it. Anyone? Nervous system. Okay. I like that. I like the answer. So the only and the real answer is your brain and nervous system. Your brain give you everything, how you see, how you feel. It build your feelings inside you. For the people standing next to you, he might probably not feelings what you feel because the things is in your brain computering. So they cannot understand what you feel, but you feel that that is real. Everything you feel is absolutely real. You're not like faking it. It's not in your head. That is absolutely true. So what you have to understand is why it's happening, and your symptoms is a result of the root cause of why it's happening. And every part of the brain has a really specific function. So if we know that part of the brain control what function, and then we can trace back to the exact symptoms you have to that specific part of the brain. So when you know which part is not working, you only need to regulate and change that part of the brain, and then all the symptoms will be gone. This is the only thing you will need to heal yourself, to get rid of your symptoms. Is everything make sense? Is everyone tracking? Let's hear some takeaway. Anyone will have some comment about what I have to say? This is the same principle I use for every single of my client to get them the result. So which means if you like, and if you can find out which part of the brain is not working, you can heal yourself. So if there's, let's hear, oh, this is there like a question. It's all start with the brain, it transfer through the nervous system and back. Yeah, exactly. Your nervous system is only a bunch of wire cable, but what is actually behind it is the brain, how it's see and program it. Guess what kind of symptom is from the brain? Like the things I just mentioned. People have like ADHD, autism, like brain fog, sensitivity issue, even memory loss is all in the brain. If you have no further question, I'm going to go down to the second most common mistake that people made. Is that cool? Type I'm ready down below. I'm ready, okay? Lots of you guys are ready. Okay, the second mistake that people made is they're trying to do something too general for their nervous system. Imagine like we all know Halloween is coming up, and imagine you're going invited to a Halloween party, and you think, oh, I need to dress up the most excited costume, the most frightening one to the party, so I will be the number one. And then you Google what is the most scary costume Halloween I can get. Or you see the scout one, the skeleton one, and you order it. When it arrives, you put on it, you feel like, oh, everything was so loose, it's not tight enough, oh, my belly is coming up. And then you're asking yourself, why this is the most reviewed number one item on the internet, but why it didn't fit me? Anyone know why? Anyone want to guess? Why would something that people suggest on internet with thousands of millions of users, it works for them, but not work for me? He then go to a local custom tailor shop and he asked the tailor, hey tailor, the things that I just ordered, it didn't fit me really well. Can you try to give me something more unique to me? And then the tailor would say, oh, yeah, that's good. I can give it to you. No worry. I got you. And then the tailor not only measure his waist, his neck collar size, his length of the arm, the size, it even asks her, oh, what is your style? What kind of things? Who do you want to be? And then after the costume has been made, and then you put up on the costume and you feel, oh, I'm so confident. I must be the most scariest one people in your party. So the story tell me that for everything you do, probably there is something one size probably fit most people. But there's also something of specificity that need to tailor made to your symptoms. If you want specific result for your specific symptoms, you need to do something really specific to the brain. And I'm going to talk more about how specific to the brain you have to be. If you're trying to do generic things to get specific result, that is not going to work. Doing generic things only give you generic result, and you only need to do, and you can only get specific result by doing laser focus things to get what you want. So
So
anyone, yep,
Dr. Tommy, do you mean that we have all the healing power within our own brain and we can find out exactly which part of the brain is causing our symptoms? There's a way to help to heal it.
yeah, exactly. Even though you put maybe me and my another guy next to me, even though maybe I have a twin, every brain is so different. If I have a twin, probably maybe he would be a little bit bigger than me. Maybe he didn't wear glasses. So if I try to order the same shirt for him, it's not going to fit. It might fit for the first few seconds, but it is not going to perform as well as it's supposed to be.
Do you see this for people who experience similar symptoms, but what's causing it or how to fix it is completely different?
Yeah, everyone is different. Let's take like maybe dysautonomia as an example or brain fog after COVID. Even though you put 10 people suffer from COVID, they have the exact symptoms, but some of their part of the area that are being affected is totally different. And today I'm going to tell you exactly how to find it, where it is, and how to do it at hour 2 and hour 3. So make sure you stay behind. Can anyone here share what kind of symptoms they have so that I can be more customized to your need today? So drop what is your main symptoms, what you're looking for today in the chat. Okay, dizziness, brain fog, daily dizziness, vertigo. Okay, a lot of dizziness here. Heart palpitation, eye focus issue, anxiety, light sensitivity. Okay. We got a lot of people feeling dizzy, brain fog. Okay. Hot, noise sensitivity, dizziness. It looks like everyone have dizzy today. Tinnitus. So what I'm going to do next is to share with you give you a really generic, give you a really brief overview of how your brain actually function. And I'm going to tell you how specific you need to be in an overview, and I'm going to share more detail. So this is your brain. Your brain. Anyone familiar with the brain? I guess everyone has been doing the things for a really long time. You search everything you can find on the internet to try to find the answer to regulate your nervous system. So this is your brain. So this is the view we normally see. So we have our eye here. We have different parts. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10. We have like 10 different parts of the brain at least. And we have 12 cranial nerve here. And each part of the brain responsible for a really specific function of your body. Let me give you an example. When you have dizziness, when you go to see an ENT or like a PT, like a physical therapist, they do a lot of vestibular rehab. So most people think, oh, dizziness, you must have problem in this area of the brain called the cerebellum. It helps you coordinate, balance, and coordinate your gait, your limbs, your eye. But what they don't know is this part of the area is not working, or when you feel dizziness, it can be also coming from this part of the brain stem. And then it can be from this nerve, this nerve, or this nerve. Some people even have a vagus nerve issue. Have everyone ever hear the vagus nerve? Type vagus nerve down below if you hear that. And if you try like meditation, vagus nerve stimulation, if you try that, type vagus nerve below. Vagus, okay, 2 people, 3 people. Some of you have tried, like there's a lot of more people say they tried, but none of them works, right? Or it didn't work for some people. So the vagus nerve is only a tiny nerve in your brain. There is still more things connected to it. Maybe the frontal lobe is also going to help regulate this small part of the brain. So if they're only focusing on this part, your symptoms, you can only change probably maybe 1 out of 15%. Like you're only going to change so little. So this is only one thing that is being not specific. We're only seeing it on the side. And let's look at this one. Our brain, we have left hand and right hand, but we also have left brain and right brain. So when you have dizziness, depends on which side you feel you're moving, or maybe which side your body get tired or have pain, like sensitivity. You feel one eye is more sensitivity than the other. If you're wearing glasses, one side of the glasses, you need to have more power to see. So all of them tell you which side of the brain is not working. So it could be from the right, it could be from the left, or if we want to make it more complex, it can from this part of the brain or another part of the brain, or they can be like left and right in balance, or they can be up and down in balance. Any one of you have seen my reel on the social media talking, if you have some kind of symptoms like this, your brain is getting weak. Type a yes below so that I know if anyone heard of this concept before. And I'm going to clarify what is it exactly means by your brain is getting weak. Okay, yes, there's a lot of yes. When I say your brain is in balance or getting weak, the more specific, more correct answer is, so none of the part is getting weaker. They are all being turned on. But when you have dizziness in the brain area, one part of the brain or part of the brain is being turned off. Imagine left to right, one part of the brain being turned off, the other part of the brain, relatively, it becomes stronger. Imagine you're walking pretty equally on both sides. But suddenly someone just push you only from your right side. Guess what happened? You're going to feel dizzy. This is only for dizziness. If you have ADHD, autism, light sensitivity, it's more from high up here. A research from 2022, and it do over 120 brain scan in people with COVID, post-COVID especially. They find out this part of the brain and then this part of the brain is being turned off. And this part of the brain, the lower part of the brain, give you energy, focus, the feelings of dizziness, breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, and also your memory and focus, and also your emotion as well. When this part don't work, you have all the anxiety coming from nowhere. It sounds like some of the symptoms you guys having? Type brain down below if that's some of you. Totally. Okay. After COVID. Brain. Absolutely.
And
And for
I just
yeah,
want to make sure that you all are getting this, right? Like for especially for the people who are experiencing dizziness, which is a lot of you. Have anyone heard anything like this, that people explain where this dizziness might be coming from, why you're experiencing dizziness in a specific way? Have you, or did you learn something new today? Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So
That's great.
for people who have attention deficit like ADHD or a different kind of neurodivergence that they may be seeing somewhere else, a world-renowned psychiatrist, Dr. Amen, in his whole few decades of career, he did thousands of brain scans. And in the functional brain scan, it's not normal brain scan, it's a functional brain scan that tell you which part of the brain is being turned off. And he consistently find people with ADHD or neurodivergent, part of their brain is being turned off. And then only other half of the brain is being used so that they are not using their full potential. Imagine when you go back home at night, you go back home, you flip on the light switch, but only half of your house is being turned on. And then the other half, oh, you still kind of know what is it, where is it, or I know my phone probably there, maybe not because I can see it. So if you cannot use your house 100%, won't you feel weird? Won't you feel, oh, something is wrong, things like that? And imagine if you can use 100% of your brain, how much better would it be just in your living, in your house? Oh, I have this couch here, I can use my TV, or I have my computer here, I can do more stuff. How many of you would like to use the other half of your brain? Type 100% down below if you want to get access to the rest of the brain that hasn't been turned on. 100%. There's a lot. 100%. But I have a good news for every one of you. Remember what I say? They need functional MRI. They need brain scan to know which part of the brain is not working. But I can tell you, You don't need all the complex scan. You don't need to inject yourself of some like radioactive substances to just get one brain scan for that 1 minute of information. In hour 2, I'm going to show you exactly how you can see your brain's function by just looking at it. Does it sounds cool? Sounds good? Sounds awesome? Type test down below if you want to do something like this in the next hour.
Dr. Tommy,
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit more about what sets these tests apart from imaging? Like, why would these tests tell us what you're gonna, what we can find, but not the scans? Why not the fancy scans?
Okay, the scan. So we all love the scan. Doctor loves scan because there's the things they can, it's the only things they know. But the purpose of the scan is to see if you have any tumor, if your structure have problem. But obviously for everyone who is here today, your brain, when you do the scan, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's a software problem. So for software problem, we need to use a functional test to test the function at it. The things I'm going to show you next hour, it looks so simple. It's so simple, everyone can do it. It's right under our eyelid. But all the brain tests is surprisingly simple looking, and we don't need that complex scan. It is not about what they look like. It's not about how simple it is. It's about what does it mean when you do it in your brain. I want to make sure everyone is tracking. How about we hear some takeaway from some of you guys? You can turn on your video, hear what you say, or even ask some question if you would like. So there's a button down below. Raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself to ask your question or share a takeaway.
Someone asked, is the recording going to be shared with the participants after the masterclass?
So for the recording, would be available for a limited time. So make sure you get your chance, answer your question, and clarify what is your most burning question about this, because I guarantee you, you will never find this information online, and even someone's know it, they will not share it because the concept I just told you, even medical doctors don't know it. I'm sure Dr. Joyce mentioned earlier today in the beginning. So people will pay me $50,000 for a VIP day to just get their brain checked and get their symptoms fixed. But you can't really put a price tag on your health and life. Today is about you, every one of you. I care all of you guys, and you are here today. So I'm going to let you know how much yourself, your health, and your family worth to you. I'm going to give you the exact system I have been used for the past 5 years to help hundreds of people to get rid of all the dizziness, brain fog, the ADHD, even like Parkinson, movement disorder, tics, dysautonomia. It's using the same principle. You only need to know, and I already give you the answer. You see the brain, know which part of the brain is not working, you turn it back on, symptoms gone. Let me ask you this. I want everyone to think, what is the number one thing you want to do right now, or you want to do it, but you cannot because it's all the symptoms you are having. You cannot drive, you cannot travel, you need someone drive with you, you lost your job. Tell me what is the number one things you want to do right now. If you don't have such symptoms, put in the chat down below and let me know.
I see two questions coming in before we dive in. Do you want to address that now, Dr. Peng?
Okay, which question? Brain scan cancel a concussion or
Oh, it
okay.
talks about, yeah, the exercise, how long we have to do them.
Okay, so for all the exercise, so for the next hour, I'm gonna show you how to do the test to tell which part of the brain is not working. And then in the last hour, I'm gonna give you the exact things you need to do to turn back on to re-regulate and rebalance your brain. So we're gonna adjust it later. So for the light sensitivity, don't worry, we're going back in the next hour. I'm gonna go more detail into which part of the brain, which means which symptoms. Okay. And brain scan can show a concussion. Yeah, that's a things that the limitation of a brain scan, because brain scan only see a structural problem, but there's a lot of micro trauma in the concussion that beyond the resolution of a brain scan. Like for example, when you're trying to look, maybe you want to look at really small particle with a magnifier. It's not specific enough, it's not big enough to see it. So that's why people are using functional tests to test the brain function. We're looking at the function rather than the structure. And we're going to go over next hour. So let's see what you guys want to do after if you have no symptoms. Okay, read a book, drive and get off the coach and bed in a bed bound. Oh, bed bound. Sorry to hear that. Driving, focus, read a printed book, withstand light change. Yeah, concert, the flickering, the bright light. That's a real one. People often told me, hey, I really want to go party, but I can't because the loud music, if I see the loud music, I would flare up. Can drive, BVD. Yeah, that's from your eye. That's the cranial nerve that I just circle. Work again, leave again, travel. Yeah. It looks like to me, most of you guys just want to get back to where you were before and live a normal life. Is that true? Type yes, but type life down below if you want to get your life back. How much would that worth you? Or how much are you willing to pay? If I told you once you know it, you're gonna get your life back. You can do everything you just mentioned. Just tomorrow. How much will you do? How much or how much does that costing you right now when you cannot do it? You lost your time with your family. You lost the most favorite concert you can go. You can only watch on the screen. You cannot go there. You cannot even drive. How many time are you missing? And how much does that cost you to your family? Are they worrying about you? They need to spend more time with you to make sure you're okay. For me personally, I cannot put a price tag on it. I would pay everything. I would do everything I can to make sure this is not happening and become my reality again. Because the only things you cannot buy is your time and is your health. So if I don't have health, money is no use for me. The only thing that's matter first is my family. If my health is not okay, people is going to worry about me. So any question right now before we went to a break for the next hour? A lot. Hate my life. Okay, Parkinson. Yeah, it's priceless. Totally agree with you, Eric. Okay, without any further question, we're going to take 10-minute break. And then for the next hour, we're going to do the testing to find out which part of the brain is not working. Does this sound good? So come back at 8 p.m. sharp, and I will see you in 10 minutes.
All right. Are we all refreshed and ready to go to learn the exact test to find out which area of the brain needs to be turned back on? Type me ready in the chat if you're ready to go. Great. Yeah, ready. Yeah. Yep. Great. So before we jump in, why don't we just share some takeaways from the first hour? I know there was a lot of information. Um, Me and Dr. Penn want to make sure that you're tracking it and you know, and we don't have to do anything, tidy up before we jump into more information. There's hope. Yeah, I see Pam saying there may be hope. Yes, there's more. There's more hope. Yes. Anything else? Remember, like engagement is key for you to retain the information. We want to make sure that you get what Dr. Pan was talking about. Can you just share, raise your hand, and you can share with us what's your biggest aha moments from the first hour. Okay, parts of a brain are shut down. We can figure out what parts they are and fix it. Yes, the root cause.
I saw
Can
some, I saw someone send a heart emoji. Derek, are you trying to say something that let us know? And then anyone would like to share anything, you can unmute yourself. Turn on the switch. Okay, let's hear some comment right now. There's one question. Um, Let me see. I think I read one question. Someone asked, would Carissa, can there be more than one area is not working at once if you have multiple symptoms? So exactly. The things I'm going to show you is going to be so simple. That's everyone overlook. Your brain is so complex. It's not only one part of the brain is not working. It's a whole network. And I'm going to show you how is it connected. And when one part of the things being turned off, the other part will turn off amount time as well. Okay, let's read some main takeaway. There's hope. Yeah, exactly. Shut down. We can figure out which part they are fixing. Turn on the switch. Yeah, how our brain is really amazing, Grace. When I have Eric, when I have concussion, I went to a medical doctor. Then there's so no test. Yeah. Okay, let me see something here. Okay. Can the issue cause heart palpitation? Yeah, your heart, okay, your brain is the ultimate control of your body. When your signal is not correct, the heart can pump weirdly.
Can you hear
Um,
me?
yeah, who's that? Anyone want to share something?
It's Eric.
Oh, hey, Eric, hey, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I just wanted to share. Yeah, back when I had a concussion, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I went to medical doctors. They say there's no, you can't see a concussion on a brain scan, and then pretty much his whole treatment was just don't get another concussion. So there's no options. So I love that you're actually giving people options out there for something that can be really scary too. So.
Yeah, you're
Um,
well. Would you mind tell us a little bit more about your background? Like you have a concussion, like how do you get the concussion?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an athlete for a long time, so I've had a couple concussions, mostly just like sports related, and yeah, it's um, some of the stuff you've been talking about has really helped me out a lot, and yeah, it just it's something that the medical profession doesn't offer, that for concussions. And yeah, they just want to give you pills. They want to do surgery. That they're not looking at the root cause. They just want to treat the symptoms. And it's refreshing to see a doctor actually look at the symptoms instead of just the or look at the root cause rather than just the symptoms.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Eric, and I'm sorry to hear about what you have experienced. So, because medical doctor, I would say they're good. Modern medicine do a lot of good stuff in a emergency setting, like people are getting hit by a car, they have emergency, like literally saving life from a split of the second. They can do that, but in preventive or make your brain stronger, that's probably not their training for. And Eric, would you mind share with us a little bit more, like what kind of symptoms are you actually experiencing?
Yeah, some of my symptoms, it's not as bad as it used to be, but especially when I was first dealing with it, yeah, just brain fog, fatigue, kind of almost like depression symptoms too.
Mm,
And and then yeah, when there's no options, um, pretty much when he's just like, yeah, just don't get another concussion. That's not very reassuring for the patient when you are dealing with these symptoms, and you're scared about it too. So it's um yeah, and then long term too, just memory things and headaches and all that kind of stuff, but kind of long term symptoms. So that's why I'm very interested to see what you have to say about
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
How long have you have that kind of symptoms like affecting you?
Kind of like the brain fog and depression kind of stuff. That was more short term, acute, and then the headaches and memory issues. That's been more like a long term thing. So that's the short term probably lasted maybe 6 months, and then the long term it's been probably 6 years. Um, and it's frustrating.
And how are you doing right now? Is everything's fine? You still have some symptoms? Like, how are you at right now?
Yeah, right now it's not bad. Just headaches, frequent headaches, and but that shouldn't be normal either. I shouldn't be having headaches
Yeah,
all
it's not.
every day. Some memory concentration kind of stuff. Um, so I definitely have some room for improvement. So some
Yeah,
exercises or something would definitely probably help me a lot.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Eric. I'm sure I can guarantee you you're in a right place because
Good.
most doctors tell you, oh, or a lot of people probably tell every one of you like this. Oh, you have these symptoms. Oh, you are fine. There's nothing we can do. You need to live with it. How many of you hear this sentence before? You need to live with it. Type me in the chat if someone ever tell you this. Me, yeah. Everyone here has the same experience from all the healthcare professional they have seen. Like imagine like concussion, nothing they can do, dysautonomia. You need to drink more water, take more salt, get compression stocking. You need to wear it every single day. And every time you stand up, you'll be feel like that. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, give you some medicine. Yeah. Um, they are not trained, they're trained in a medicine and surgery. If you want medicine, and if there is some medicine they can solve, they are excellent profession. But if your problem is not something medicine can solve, I would say try to you need to find the root cause that I'm going to show you. Okay, let me see. Where are we? Yeah, thanks for sharing, Eric. So let's see where are we at right now. Anyone right now would like to share the takeaway, what they have learned in the first hour, or share something that you want us to know so I can better customize your experience later today?
I'd like to share if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Unmute yourself. Hey,
Can
hello.
you hear me?
Yeah, Filetta, am I saying your name?
Fitnet, yeah. My name is Fitnet.
How are you doing?
Okay, I guess I could be a lot better. I'm pretty much bed bound, and couch bound from the dizziness and all of my symptoms, like you were explaining, the POTS, the dysautonomia. It happened like progressively every time I got COVID. I just kept getting worse and worse until one day I woke up and everything was spinning. And
Mm,
I just couldn't really function well after that. I had a few stages where I got a little bit better. I was able to cook and clean, and then now I'm back to being on the couch all day because of
mm,
all the symptoms of the dizziness. I'm spinning. Sometimes the room spins, the heart palpitations. I didn't see anybody mention this, but I get internal tremors too. Like I have shaking on the inside. Sometimes it's just the brain I feel shaking. Sometimes it's the whole body. Like tonight, it's my whole body internally.
I'm sorry to hear that. What have you tried so far to
I've tried a lot of things. I've tried different medications. I've tried vestibular therapy, vision therapy, upper cervical care, chiropractic. Now I'm doing another chiropractor. He does like the whole body, cranial work. You name it, I've tried it. Supplements. I have like a whole store of supplements in my home.
yeah, you have been a really long journey. And for your situation, we're gonna do really soon. I'm gonna tell you why your symptoms progressively getting worse every time you get COVID because everything is connected. As someone
Hmm.
mentioned, when one part of the brain, it's not only one part of the brain is not working, it's not that simple. It's a network. One is going to affect other, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Yeah,
Great.
thank
Thank you
you
so much.
for
This
sharing.
is great.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to share something so I can talk a little bit more about your situation?
I would.
Hey Pam, hey, what's up?
Hi, Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for doing this webinar, first of all. I have a condition it used to be called scotopic sensitivity syndrome.
Go
Now
talk.
they've switched it to Erlin syndrome after the person who found it, Helen Erlin. And it includes a lot of light sensitivity. Um, Instead of dyslexia, it's like full page distortions when you're reading a book. So there's lines through the text, the foreground and the background fight. There's swirls through the text. Those are my main distortions. There's others too. Messes with your depth perception as well. And I've had it all my life, but when I started reading in school, it started really showing up, and it also affects your reading comprehension quite a bit because you read the same thing over and over again.
Mm,
And I'm hoping that some of what you're saying today can really help that. Um, the light sensitivity has been a big problem. It can go into migraines eventually too, sometimes when it flares up and can blur my vision. And even though I don't have normally have blurry vision, um, yeah, so I'm hopeful that some of this can help.
yeah, thank you for your sharing, Pam. Is that one you mentioned you want to read a book? Is that you?
Yes,
Yeah,
read
I
a book and go to concerts.
yeah, I really understand right now why you would want to read a book. Yeah, it's a really interesting symptoms, but I'm going to tell you how. So what we are seeing sometimes when you can see, you go to an eye doctor, they said you can see pretty clearly, you can see me, right? But the
Right.
thing, yeah, but the things kind of look distorted or you feel it's shaking, but it is not. Yeah, so it's from part of the brain that control your eye movement, and we're going to go over a little bit more. Yeah, everyone
Okay.
give Pam a round of applause. This take a lot of courage to share the experience. Thank you. Okay, before we move on, we can take one more. Anyone want to share their experience, what they have learned, and what they're trying to get out of it today? Okay, well, so if there's no more further share away, we're going to go over to the big stuff. How are we going to test our brain function or we need to answer the most important question. The most important question is it you? Is your symptoms from brain imbalance? Do you really have it? Or maybe it's something else, because there's different reasons as well that we haven't covered in the masterclass. And remember, in the last hour, what is the number one mistake people made in trying to get rid of the symptoms? Anyone remember? Type it in the chat. I'm going to quiz you guys. How many you guys retaining information? Yeah, root cause. Okay, that's good. Yes, it's root cause. So most people only focusing on the symptoms. They are looking at, oh, you can walk? Okay, let's look at your leg. Let's do an X-ray on the scan. But then they find out that people have a stroke. It's not their leg, it's somewhere else. And we need to focus on the soil, what is behind it, and what is controlling maybe the growth of the flower. So the reasons why I mention it, because we are not these people and only going to focus on the root cause. So right now we're going to directly look at your brain and look if there is any disconnection. We're going to check the function of the brain right now. The things I'm going to show you is super simple. You don't need the functional MRI. You don't need to drive. You don't need to inject yourself with a bunch of chemical. You can do it right now with me. All the things is right under the eyelid. When I give you, you will probably say, what? It's just like this? Yes. You may even laugh about it, but it is already well documented in the neurology books. All the things I'm going to teach you is not made up by myself. It has been proven and tested hundreds of years ago by the people, by the neurologists. But the problem is no one put them together and what is it really means. They only see one test mean these things, this test mean these things, but they're not putting it together. And then the most important question is what to do after when you find this positive. When most medical neurologists do this test every single day. Either they don't see what they need to see, what does it mean, or they ignore it because there's nothing we can do about it. So this brain test looks surprisingly simple. We don't need a complex scan, and it is not about what they look, how simple it is. It's about what that means. So anyone ready? Type ready down below, and then we're going to move a little bit. So for the next one, we need some space. So if you're driving, don't try this. Make sure you're in a safe environment. Give yourself some space. And I would invite everyone turn on their camera because we need to see how it's doing. Okay, let me pull up the note we just shared so I can guide you step by step. Okay, so for the first test, we're going to test. Let's do the test first. Let's see if anyone can guess what that means. So make sure your half body can be seen. And then I will need everyone to put your right hand up like this. So hands, close all other finger except your index finger and thumb. So open as wide as you can. Yep. And then close it and open as big as it can. And then I want you to tape as fast as you can, as fast. So I see someone, they're doing like this. No, we want to open back up and close, open back up and close. Yep, I think I see something in some people right now. So notice the speed of the hand, just remember it. Okay, everyone can stop right now, don't overdo it. Notice the speed. Is there any skipping? One skipping? Do you feel you're really hard to do it? Probably you don't feel it right now, but let's try. the exact same thing on the other side, and then you might find a aha. Okay. Do you remember the things on the left and the right? Anyone here feel one side is significantly slower than the other side? Maybe there is some skipping. You feel really hard. You need to like squeeze really hard to just move that finger. Maybe there is some skipping. You kind of do this and then you kind of, this one I can do. Some people might move their face. They need to move their face to move their finger. Some people, they would move their mouth. That's often seen in children and like people with brain trauma, and like some neurodivergence would do it. Like they would like do this. They might move with their mouth in order to help them to move their finger. So type finger down below if you feel there's a difference from your left and the right. Okay, why skip? Why is I skipping pain? Okay. Left very slow, difficult. Left is slow. Right isn't easy. Pain and skipping. So if you have pain, probably means something else. Probably someone. This is the most common question. Oh, I broke my wrist a long time before. So then this test is not probably still give us some information, but we have a question about it. And don't worry, there's like more than 50, 60 exam to do it. And today I'm going to share about 4 tests we're going to do today. And then the rest of it, I usually do it in my secret brain rebalance accelerator. But today, I give you 4. So let's see more common. Finger, left skipping. Sometimes I need crunch to do it. Both sides struggle, same side. Okay, is anyone here went to a neurologist do something like this? Type of me in the chat. Anyone do this before? Oh, no, okay. No one's even know this test. Okay, perfect. I'm going to tell you why. We have left brain and right brain. Your left brain, let's say I'm using my right hand. My right hand is always controlled by the opposite side of the brain. So if your right hand is low and lagging, the left brain is struggling. This is a golden test for neurologists to test Parkinson. If people skip once, there's a mild risk. If they skip more than 2, that's pretty significant. But is everyone here have Parkinson? Of course not. I see children do this as well. So children definitely not getting Parkinson. The reasons why your finger is slowing down is, let's take the right hand, the finger here is controlled by the right brain here, especially this part here, and this part is the movement area in the brain. So the finger only reflecting the right side of the brain is not doing well. Imagine how well your brain is actually doing if you cannot even move your finger. Has anyone ever noticed that before? Type me down below. Let me see how many smart people are here. No, should open stay the same with functional neurologists? Stay the same. No, okay. No one's know about this. So I'm going to keep going. So the left finger by the right brain. But the finger is not directly connected to the brain. It also controlled by all different brain structure. So when your left finger, left hand here, it has to go to the cerebellum, which control your thinking, your coordination, your blood flow to the brain, your dizziness, your eye movement, which we're going to test next. So if your left finger is low, most likely 90% of the time, this side of the cerebellum will be being turned off. And then the brainstem on the other side will be being turned off. And then the other side of the brain is being turned off as well. So which being said, If your left side of the body is not moving as it should be, not only your right brain, but all other structure. The structure control your thinking, your blood flow. This part of the brain control your eye movement. If you have eye movement problem, you cannot see clearly. People often get dizzy. They will feel like their room is spinning, but they're not because their eye is moving. That create a visual illusion they're moving, but it's only their eye is moving. And also this part control the heart rate, the breathing, the blood pressure, the stress and anxiety is all being modulated in here. And talk about the higher brain structure, this give people light sensitivity, sound sensitivity. And more specifically on the right side, people have right brain being turned off. They will have like ADHD, the attention span would be low. They would feel, they would tend to be more not seeing the big picture. That's what they describe. So a lot of symptoms could be coming from here by just one test, by the finger. But this is only one test. There's almost like more than 50 to get the whole picture. And we're going to do something next. So any question here so far? Type me tracking down below if everyone is tracking right now. This is a really important concept. This is literally what you need to know. And I use the same principle to solve all the weird things. All the neurologists, all the medical doctor deem the patient as the most difficult case in their career. But I see this situation every single day. Tracking, okay? I feel anxious when I smell something I don't want, okay? We're going to talk more about that. Okay, okay, so the next step, we're going to need more space. Okay, so stand here. Make sure I would need you to put both hands up like this on a level. Let's wait, everyone. Yep. Yep. And then turn up and down, up and down. So, and then we're going to do really, really quick up and down as full speed, both sides. Like do it like this. Do it as quick as you can. Okay, and you can stop. Tell me if you notice one side is slower or one side feels harder to coordinate and maintain at that same spot. Most people, so normal would be like this. They are the same speed, but when they're not okay, one hand would do one thing and then another hand would kind of doing its own things. They will be either slow, discoordinated, or even both hands. Any one of it. Okay, right hand a little bit slow. Okay, we're not done yet. So we're only checking the shoulder. And then we're going to tuck our elbow at a 90 degree. It's the same thing. And then you're going to do the exact same things. This part, usually people would struggle with their cognitive function brain fog. Anyone here is slower on the elbow than the shoulder. Right hand really slowed down, okay? And then we're going to do one last. So put your hand here. Either hand is fine. Oh, people are making note. Okay, put one hand here. And then another hand, we're going to just do this. And then we're going to repeat exactly on the other side. Some people would feel one side significantly slower. Anyone? Type slow down below if you're really struggling. Type which side so I can explain more. Left is slow. Right is slow. Okay, cool. And then my most often being asked question, is it because I'm just right-handed so that my left hand is being slow? Tell me if you are right-handed but your right hand is slower. Type me down below if you're your case. Or you could be left-handed, but left hand is slower. Or both hand is slow. Okay. Amazing, right? So there's a lot of people saying the same things. I'm right-handed, but my right hand is slower. If you're using your right hand every day, why your right hand will be slower than the left hand? It didn't make sense, right? So it has nothing to do if you are left-handed or right-handed. Remember, when your right hand is lower, which means it controlled by the right, I think opposite side. Okay. So this is the right, brain is flipped. You're seeing the picture from the front. So you're looking the person from the front. So if your right hand here is lower, your finger is lower, which means your left brain is struggling or being turned off. Anyone here know what is the function of the left brain? Bonus point for this. Anyone know? Left brain, analytical, yes. Called logic. Yes, absolutely. The calculation, logic, really good. The left brain also hold your speech center. It helps you speak. It's right here. It helps you speak, help you understand what people are speaking, and you need to associate everything what you want to speak, and you're going to speak it out loud. It's all from the left brain. So if your right brain is slower, how many of you have a difficulty of probably understanding people saying, maybe they say something, you hear it, but I'm not quite getting it. I hear exact wording, but I don't know what that means. Or you want to say something, but at the end, you kind of, I want to say this, but I don't know. I just say something else. Okay, I see a few hands raising up. So isn't that so easy? You can tell all the symptoms, but by just doing this force test. And let's talk about dizziness. Dizziness is a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to make it really simple. So for dizziness, mainly there's two origin. So it can be either your brain don't get up. So first is either your brain, the whole brain don't get enough blood. So when no blood there, the whole brain just turn off. It just like your cell phone running dry. You will notice your phone getting significantly slower when the battery is almost die out. So this is the case. The second part is in your vestibular system, like people do vestibular therapy, the eye movement therapy. They mainly focus on the cranial nerve here and here. So it's only few of them. But when your right hand is not moving, your cerebellum that control all this nerve, control your eye movement, control your blood flow to the brain, control your cognition. Everything is from here and here. So when this part is being affected, every other things can work. This is the control and coordination of every other part of the brain is for coordinate. It coordinate not only your thought, also your digestion, your speaking, your gait, your eye. So if everything is not moving in sync, everything just go haywire. Anyone here have dizziness? I saw a lot of people have dizziness before. Anyone with dizziness, one hand is really struggling, or even two. Type yes in the chat if it's really hard in just moving your hand and coordinate it. Okay. Derek, I see I'm looking at your comment. My brain 60. Me, I become clumsy. Yes, clumsy. This is a typical word because this part of the brain is not coordinate everything. Everything is not moving in sync. So people become clumsy. They feel like they are leaning on one side. It's like they feel like they are being pushed by someone, but they're not. It's merely because one side of the brain is being turned off. Everyone tracking. If you have this on the right hand, left brain is not working. If your left finger is slow, your right brain is not working. And the coordination is the same side. So this is might be a little bit difficult. Right hand, always same side cerebellum and opposite of the brain. They're always crossing. This is the way you need to know which side is which. So you need to know so that you know which side you should do your exercise on. Because if you do it on the wrong side, you're going to make the symptoms worse. Most likely, but not every case.
Can you just repeat that again with the hand?
Okay, sure. Your hand or your body part, most of the time, they're controlled by the opposite side of the brain and the same side cerebellum. If your right hand is not coordinated or doing something for whatever reasons, it's from your right cerebellum, same side, and opposite side of your brain. Okay. Side is important if you want to get specific result. Otherwise, all the generic things is going to help you already. I'm curious, how many of you here do all the random stuff like breathing, Wim Hof breathing, cold plunge, meditation, hypnosis? I hate this a lot. If you're doing these things and it's helping anyone do the test, they are fine, or shouldn't be that improving your brain function. Type brain function. If you're not seeing any changes by doing the general things.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Anyone, someone speaking?
Yes, sir. Can you please, is it possible to make your graphic bigger so that I can see exactly what you're pointing to? I'm writing down, but I can't make it big enough.
Let me see what is my screen looks like. So is the document on one side and my face on the other side?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me do this.
Oh, thank
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So if you narrow this down, it's going to explain why you have such symptoms. I literally explain to you without even seeing you because it is neurology. If you have a brain, this is going to work this way. Okay, so you already know where is your symptoms coming from. Is there any symptoms I haven't covered that someone would know? Type a chat or you can unmute yourself and ask if I miss anything. You literally cover every problem I have much better. First, light sensitivity, I remember. Someone with light sensitivity. So light sensitivity has something to do with an area called the frontal lobe. So your frontal lobe, which means at the front of your brain, is like right here. The frontal lobe is your boss of your whole body. Any other thing is only their staff. The boss need to keep everything down there in check. It has to stop them to doing anything weird. When the boss is on vacation, what would you do? What do you think the staff would do? Type in the chat or you can unmute. What the staff or what would you do if your boss is on vacation? Will you have fun? Do everything you want? Not listening? Headache. When your boss is not in the office, probably people are slacking. So what do they have? Attention deficit. They cannot focus. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, you want to move, you want to look more clear? No, I don't. I don't want to move. And then for the brainstem is for your breathing, anxiety, your memory. Oh, I don't want to do it. That's too hard for me. I don't want to do it. If no one is forcing me, I'm not going to do it. Or I am going to just do whatever I want. Which being said, when the frontal lobe is not working, everything go haywire as well. I'm sure when you go on the internet, everyone mention frontal lobe, your frontal cortex, your prefrontal cortex. Or when you have this, you have lack of self-control, blah, blah, blah. Because the frontal lobe is the boss. It controls everything. People often, they even do a research on ADHD people or people who have impulsive, they become really aggressive or emotional behavior because this part literally being turned off, and then they become all the evil thought, all the evil feelings come back at once. So they will feel really easily agitated because not being controlled. Their memory become really aggressive, things like that. So that's why personality change, attention span decrease, also like sensitivity. Make sense? Type frontal lobe down below if you understand what I just say. How do you turn on the left brain frontal lobe? So how do you turn it on? I'm going to talk about it in the next hour. So don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Is fatigue normal? So fatigue, imagine your left finger is not moving, the right brain is not working. If this part of not working, you're overwork yourself only using the other half of the brain. The other half of the brain need to do everything what they are supposed to do with the other side. So basically, your friend not coming to work today, and then you need to pick up her work as well. So you're working double duty. That's why you're fatigued. I have a client that he has really, really fatigued, like don't know what is happening. And by just teaching how to move the eye correctly, he becomes super, the vision get clear. Second, easy to pay attention. And third, because he moved less of his eye, his energy just skyrocketed, and he excelled in the school, in the work meeting, and he can look at someone's eyes and just like, oh, tell you what to do. Okay, enough saying. Let me see some question. How about we hear some takeaway of what you have just learned? Is it a aha to you? Let's hear a few persons to share what you learned. Anyone would like to share, or any things that I haven't covered?
Yes, the young lady who spoke at first, and she talked about COVID. I have not heard anybody else who've had the same lingering symptoms. It was so helpful. I can't even find the word for it because I'm struggling with my speech. I got a PhD, and sometimes I sound like a 5-year-old. And so to hear that somebody else is having the same issues with the the brain fog, the words, and now the spinning, the dizziness has come, and I'm so clumsy all of a sudden. So I'm just so glad that I made it here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shonda. For the COVID, a research in 2022 where they do 120 brain scan in post-COVID people, what they find is consistently the cerebellum, the brainstem, and an area called the limbic area and the frontal lobe, basically like everywhere is being turned off. It's consistently being shown in post-COVID people. And guess what function this part of the brain control? Cerebellum, the coordination, the movement, also the blood flow to the brain. Are you able to speak clearly? Are you able to walk straight? Are you able to think? And then the brainstem control your heart rate, your breathing, your blood pressure. When the brainstem being affected, that's where people develop dysautonomia symptoms, because this part of the brain, the brainstem, is AKA for autonomic function. Your digestion, your breathing, your heart rate, your blood pressure. If you think about dysautonomia, that's all the symptoms they have. They feel dizzy when they stand up because the heart rate going up is here. Maybe the blood pressure going down, not being pumped, is same area. As for your thinking, the brain fog, the frontal lobe, or the whole part of the brain that I just mentioned, not only one, you're basically working too hard, so that's brain fog. And also some people would have anxiety coming from nowhere. Recently, I have a client said, "Oh, I used to be a happy person. I didn't speak like this, but well, right now I speak like this. I just don't feel happy." There's a limbic area.
I stopped working. I took early retirement. I did not think that there would be any help for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Shanu. Yeah, today I'm going to give everyone something you can start doing by yourself. Yeah, the limbic area is your personality, your memory, and the flight or flight response. If this part not working so well, like the fear, the anxiety, is all being triggered, a car just drive by, you feel, "Ah, what the heck? This sounds like so dangerous. I don't know why that's freaking me out. I don't know, it's just a car. Someone drop a cab behind me. I don't know, it's just so sensitive. It's kind of driving me nuts." So is the limbic area and the frontal lobe, the boss go out, everyone is not in check. So everything is in your brain. It's from the root cause here. Okay. I want to give a round of applause to Shanna. Let's everyone give her a round of applause, because not everyone, you guys are doing something amazing today. Not everyone would do their best to search for answer to the end, to find out what is happening to them. The one who try their best and do everything they can do is going to be rewarded in different other way in life. Okay, anyone would like to share their own experience, or let me see. Look at the chat. If you want to unmute, you're welcome to do so.
I have a question.
Yes.
What part of the brain affects your sense of smell? It's been around 10 years now, and I've lost my sense of smell. It comes and goes.
So sense of the smell. Let me pull up the graph again. So sense of the smell usually coming from one or two reasons. So the smell in particular is a cranial nerve one here. It should be pointing this way. It's above your eye. That is your olfactory nerve, which the smell hit the nerve, your brain have the smell. Usually this part, because it's so close to the frontal lobe, people with frontal lobe issue will also get the smell affected. Of course, you need to rule out, do the scan. There's no physical problem. If you went through all the doctor, they say you are fine. Probably it's a software glitch in the brain. They are not in check, so you are not perceive the smell correctly. And I would say people usually have an altered smell. They will have an altered taste as well. How is your taste right now? Is your taste being affected as well?
Not that much.
Not that much. Okay, that's a good
Yeah,
news then. Then it's only your smell.
yeah, but right now before it was gone, but now it's comes and goes. Sometimes I
Oh,
can smell, sometimes I can't.
comes and go. That's an interesting point. Anyone know why that is interesting? Type interesting down below if you want to know. Why I say it's interesting is it comes and go, which means it's a software problem. Do you remember I said your computer is a glitch? It's a computer. When your brain has less energy, when your battery trying to went away, your efficiency slow down. So when you don't have enough energy, you're too tired, you cannot function. So people usually their symptoms flare up when they get tired over the day, or they do something really exhausting to them. So that's why it's interesting. More interesting is if it comes and go, which means it can come back. What you need to do is to turn it back on and make it more efficient.
Thank you.
Yes. We cover a lot already. So anyone learn something so far? Type learn down below.
Dr. Peng.
Yes.
So when you say that when you have less energy and we're tired, these symptoms tends to be worse. Does these stressors comes with, a lot of people experiencing COVID, right? It makes the symptoms worse and worse. Is it stressing the brain too? That's why these symptoms kind of seems worse when they get
Oh,
sick.
yes. I Finette, yeah, Finette. She mentioned every time she got COVID, she get worse the symptoms because our nervous system and our brain is like a pond of water, or it's like a bucket of water. It can only hold to a certain amount of water. When you keep dumping things into it without addressing it, the bucket is going to overflow. So everything add up, and different people have a different size. Some people, they get hit by their head 10 times, 100 times, they're fine. Some people just get slapped, they are miserable because different people have a different capacity. When people getting worse amount of time, their bucket being filled up and they are not addressing the root cause. So everything get worse and the trauma, the things keep accumulating. And I remember the first sharer, Eric said the doctor told him what? Not to get another concussion because the concussion, and they knew if he get another concussion, the symptoms is going to get worse. This is why, because they never adjust the root cause and everything's add up.
I also see a lot of questions about the test. Are we testing the frontal lobe or just the cerebellum? And questions
Ah,
about left side and right side, like if they have mixed findings, what does that mean?
okay. There's one really important concept. Do you still see my screen right now? The brain. So if you're looking at the brain right now, you still remember the right hand controlled by the right cerebellum and then the left brain as well. Anyone remember that? Type remember down below so I know everyone is tracking. Because if you don't understand, you are not going to get the next step. Remember. Remember. Okay. this is the things I'm going to talk about in the next hour, but I'm going to talk really quick here so that everyone can take a break. So if we know our right body is controlled by the left brain, which means if we want to target this structure, all we need to do is we target one area, it's going to target the area next to it. Imagine, and this is important because let me tell you this first. So this part, go to here and go to here. Your brain is all the circuit is like a river. The water goes to this direction. What would happen if the upstream getting dry? When it getting dry, the downstream don't get water, so they get dry out every time. So when your right cerebellum is not working, probably it's only start here. But then amount time, the downstream, the brain lost the water as well. So that's why amount time, the symptoms get worse or even new symptoms coming up. This is called transneural degeneration. Because the upstream affected, the downstream has to be affected amount the time. It's only the matter of time. So my theory is, because it's not my theory, it's on the textbook. So because we are not using our brain correctly and enough, when one is not being used, it's fine. But when all other parts add up, just like the bucket, people's symptoms get worse. And what's happened? Parkinson, Alzheimer, because the brain is being turned off so that they have to tremor to keep them alive. So that's where's the tremor coming from. So if you want to, so this not only get rid of your symptoms, not just make it go away, it's actually getting your brain to a newer brain, get back to where it's supposed to be, make your brain become young, and even prevent brain degeneration. So that's why I say on my social media, but the concept is just so much I cannot explain. So you make a really good choice of being here today. Everything makes sense? Type brain down below if you are tracking. This not only just get rid of the symptoms, but actually give you a new brain, give you a super brain, and even become better. One of my client, let's call her Tiffany. She have a eye movement problem. She have like strabismus, like one of her eye is not moving. But then she want to become a pilot. But become a pilot, you need to see they have a really strict rules. You can't even go on a plane if you get high blood pressure. Her physical, everything is fine. Only her eye. He was so stressful and think, what should I do? And then she come to me. We find out the right brain is not working. The brainstem that control the eye movement is not working that well. So we only specifically train that part of the brain. Because if we train the whole brain, both in balance is going to go to the same degree. So nothing changed. And after just one month, her vision actually gets sharper. And then she is a pilot right now and on her way to become working in the airline. So I'm really proud of her. So everything is possible, and you can even get something you don't have before. So the limit is only you setting to yourself.
This blows my mind every time I hear this. So basically, it's really with the test, we find out exactly which part of the brain is turned off. And with the specific exercise, you turn that part of the brain back on so the functions is turned back on.
Yes. Okay, we have been talking for an hour, so let's take about 10 minutes break. And the next hour, we're going to tell you the system I use and what you need to do exactly to rewire and rebalance your brain in a really specific manner. Okay, so let's take a break. Come back in 10 minutes.
All right, you all. Are we back online? Wave your hands if you're still here, ready to go. Hi. Hi, Pam. Hi, Vinette. All right. So we're entering the last hour of the masterclass, and this is going to be gold because we're going to learn exactly how to turn the area that we found that were weak back onto the brain. Can you imagine, even with just one symptom gone, how much big of a difference it's going to make? So have your cameras on, and we're going to have Dr. Pam back on stage so we can get right into it.
Okay, before we start, why don't we have few people share their takeaway, what they just learned, or just share what is your aha moment. Some people in the chat ask me, hey, you mentioned, or someone give me a heart. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Muffin. So some people ask me, hey, there's only 4 tests. Show me more. So in order to get the whole picture of exactly which part of the brain is not working, as I mentioned earlier, there's more than like 50, 60 tests we can do to actually pinpoint which part of the brain in here. I already do all the research here, and I already put it in my note here, but you don't really need to worry about that because I will even do that for you in my secret brain rebalance accelerator so that I will give you everything you need. And also some ask me, hey, the test is you do, it seems too subjective. Is there anything more objective? And I'm going to share with you something. And yes, there is some objective measure we can use to see how good is our brain is functioning right now. This is actually a eye test. It's called the reflex protect kit. It's measure your eye pupil to test your reflex. It directly reflecting how your brain is doing right now. So you can see the score 63 out of 100, and you see the yellow color, probably not good. So this person, this call, actually I have a call with this person. She actually have like a post-COVID symptoms and also dysautonomia. So it is not surprise. We see all the score is different here right now. But you already know we don't even need this test in order to get your brain rebalance. You only need to do what I just told you, find a way is the imbalance, and rebalance only that part of the brain, symptoms gone, and even get a better brain. So for the next hour, in this hour, I'm going to show you exactly how to rebalance your brain. There's hundreds of ways to rebalance the brain. And certain words target a specific area of the brain, and some do a lot of bonus effect. So is anyone ready to know the first method to rewire the brain? Type ready down below. Before I give you that, I believe I told you I'm going to give you the exact symptoms, the exact system I use to help hundreds of people rebalance their brain. So I'm going to tell you the system first so that you have a better idea how the flow is going to go. So let me pull up my note here. So first, to rebalance your brain, we are not just going to restart your brain. So the first step, we're going to prime your brain to make sure the brain is ready and receptive to all the balancing, the stimulation you're going to do next. So, but how? Someone mentioned this keyword, one people mentioned it, is we need to focusing on our gut and our brain status at the beginning. Because our brain, how many of you have heard gut is your second brain? Type second in the chat below. So why is that? Because there's a direct communication from the gut to the brain. Does your gut digest, they make all the neurotransmitter to get all the food from your gut to your brain. So it go to here and your brain tell your gut what to do. So how many of you have the brain problem, also have a gut problem as well? Probably when I talking about gut problem, you will think about, oh, I have like diarrhea, like constipation, but that's not only it. People will have food sensitivity when they eat certain food, probably like gluten, that's more common, certain oil, they will feel brain fog. When they eat certain food, their brain just stop working and they feel they want to sleep, or even they get allergy. How many of you have these symptoms, or even on the skin? Your skin is not ideal, you have rashes, you have acne. Type gut below if you have such a symptoms. So I know that you also have it as well. Gut, okay. Well, everyone have a gut problem. I'm surprised. So since your gut give you the nutrient your brain need to heal, we need to make sure the power plant to your brain has to be working correctly. Otherwise, when you're trying to reboot your brain, I have no energy. My power bank just died. How do I continue? So focus on the gut first. When I say focus on the gut, remember the second most common mistake people made is not being specific enough. For your gut, we are not doing vitamin C, vitamin D. We are not doing generic supplement. It has to be tailor-made to what your gut need. Every gut has a different. On every person, there's like billion different microorganisms is different in there. Depends on which is not balanced. We need to fix that bacteria first. Otherwise, our brain is not getting enough nutrient, or even worse, there is something called a leaky gut syndrome. The thing you eat, the reasons why you have brain fog is when you get the food actually go into your blood and going to your brain. So that is physically, chemically adding load to your brain. Has anyone here ever take maybe like GABA, supplement GABA, or something that try to increase your brain power and it works? Does anyone do GABA or some supplement? Type supplement down below if you do that. Yep, okay. Yes, but didn't work. Microbiome, okay, good. Someone, how do you know you have a leaky gut? Is when you take certain supplement, for example, GABA, you feel extremely calm or it's working for you. But normally that chemical don't cross. When in the gut it absorbs, they don't go into the brain. But if it works, which means it already go to the brain, which means you have a leaky gut. So you have to treat your gut first to proceed to the next step. So first, your gut brain axis. And then the second part is really simple. And we just do it together. The brain test, the functional neurology test that you just did, you do 4 of them, but you already get a lot of information out of it. You know which side of the brain, which side of the cerebellum, and etc., and how it connected. So you do the test, and also more objectively, where we can get more data, is the reflex pro kit, the eye test we just do. And then we know, so that we then know exactly which part of the brain we need to target. And then the final part, we're almost there, is the specific brain training. You still remember the second most common mistake people made? What is that? Type in the chat right now. What is the second most common mistake? You already forget it? Not the symptoms. Yes, it's the general treatment. Still remember the Halloween costume? If you're wearing the same costume as everyone else, it might not fit you, or it look like the same. You're not going anywhere. You do the breathing, you do the meditation, it's not progressing because it's not specific, especially if you have a brain imbalance. How you can change only half of the brain or a certain part of the brain by doing breathing. It helps the brain, but it's only both sides of the brain. It's the whole brain exercise. So it's not working. So you need to be specific. Is everything make sense right now? Type yes down below.
Yeah, it makes sense. We can't do an exercise for the whole brain. Only one part of the brain is a mistake.
Perfect. That's all I want to hear, because if you lost the track, there might be some missing link there. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about how is the two method we can recalibrate or rebalance your brain. And before I share, the system is going to make everything so seamless and easy. I have a client, let's call him Peter. He get a lot of good results from different healthcare profession. He tried a lot of stuff. He tried meditation, medicine, cold punches, Wim Hof breathing, and hypnosis. Works for him. It's getting better. But he only have one symptoms left, is his mouth would click. It's really weird. Every time he looked to the left, he looked to the right, look up and down, her tongue would click. So he would constantly feel the mouth is moving. It's like clicking. He keep hearing crackling sound in the ear. And I show him the system, and then we find out he has a severe yeast infection in the gut that prevent his brain getting the nutrient, getting the necessary things to heal the body. And then the second test, we find out he only need to work on one part of the brain, which is the brainstem, depends on what is your problem. And then what interestingly is he already go through to the same type of practitioner I am, but then they cannot help him. And I asked him, hey, what do you do? And then he told me, to use the eye, look left to right, looking at the same dot, looking left to right. And then I say, left to right, is there any specific side? And then he said, no, just left to right. And then I asked him, okay, how about if we only look to the left, to this direction, to this degree? Maybe move your head, maybe move your chair, or maybe we'll put some color glasses on it. And then we'll find the combination. And in only 48 hours, the symptoms gone. Do you know how long have he tried before? He tried 3 years. 3 years, but I solved the problem with this system in 48 hours. So how much time would it save you if you know exactly what you need to do? Imagine you're trying to go hiking. So one time, a smart hiker, and a really, really smart hiker want to go to Mountain Everest. And then the smart hiker think, I can do it myself. I know, I go to Yelp, I go to read all the blog, I go to online media, I find all the video, I find all the route, I make all the note, I can do it. I purchase all the equipment myself. Oh, I need this oxygen tank, I need this -40 degree down jacket. And then when he go to there, and then he look at the engines and say, oh, shoot, it looks way different than what I see online. It looks way different than what I research. And on the engines, there's a placard mentioned, oh, there's 5 routes you can get on top. Only one of them is going to the most direct route. It's going to take you 3 hours. While other, it still take you to the top, but probably take you 10 hours, 12 hours. But it can go up and down, go all the way to the top, going down, and then you can finally get up. And we no idea if he make it by himself. But the really, really, really smart hiker, do you know what he do? He finds someone who do it before, multiple times, with people with the exact symptoms and the system. He know exactly which route to take, the shortest way, so that you don't spend money on something that is not necessary, spend time on Googling what might or might not work. And at the end, he summit with his guy in only 3 hours. And he also saved a lot of time to enjoy the view on the summit. So which hiker do you want to be? You want to be the smart hiker or become the really smart hiker? Type smart hiker below if you want to be that, or type really, really smart down below if you want to get the result faster. Type it in the chat and let me know where you're at right now. Smart hiker, you want to take the slow route. Smart hiker probably won't make it. You need to be really, really smart hiker. Really, really smart. Okay, Benjamin. Good pick. Really, really smart. Okay. So for the next one, for the next, I'm going to show you what exactly you can do to rebalance your brain. As I mentioned, there's hundreds of ways to rebalance your brain, and there's different way work for different symptoms and different people. Even though you have the same symptoms, maybe your cerebellum has a problem, it might work for you, but it might not for someone else. There's hundreds of ways to find the right combination. But today I'm going to show you the most common one I use. This is the literally I use majority of the time. So are you guys ready? I'm going to give you the secret, no holding back today. Okay, that's what I say at the beginning. So type ready down below and I'm going to tell you right now. Ready? Okay. 1 ready, 2 ready, 3 ready. Everyone ready? Wave in the camera if you're ready. Okay. Is my screen still sharing? Okay. So in order to rebalance your brain, so we already know which part of the brain or which side of the brain is not working. So what we know, most people mention is, have you heard the word, the neuron fire together, wire together? But no one ever say we can fire a neuron to rewire the neuron, which means if we use more part of the brain, 100% is going to rewire, because this is neurology. It's going to work no matter if you believe it or not. So, which being said, if your left brain is the problem, you're going to do different type of exercise on the opposite side of your body only. What kind of exercise, right? We have a lot of sensory. We have our eye, we can smell, we can hear, we can feel if we are turning, we can taste, we can move our face. And if you look here, there's at least like 12 methods to try to activate the brainstem to go to the brain. And we can also use our eye. Our eye has at least 6 types of eye movement. We can look, we can jump, we can kind of follow, or we can turn our neck. There's at least 6 types. So by just using the brainstem and the eye, we have at least 18 methods to rebalance our brain. So right now, I'm going to show you one, which is, have anyone follow my reel and look at my reel? There's a video I constantly share, the first thing you need to get rid of your brain fog? Anyone want to give me a guess in the chat? That's a bonus point. So the things is vibration. So vibration is a sensory input. Vibration, is anyone have a facial massager? If you have it, you can do it with me right now. If not, the next method, you're going to do it without equipment. But the first one is pretty straightforward. So I'm holding a device right now. It's a vibration device that have a frequency specifically designed to activate the cerebellum. So it's a vibration device. It's just shake. It's like a massager. It's not a massage gun. It's not punching. It's shaking. So this frequency is going to activate the cerebellum on the same side, and it's going to stimulate the other part of the brain. Which means if I put the vibration on the left side of the body, on a specific part, the left side of the body is going to stimulate your left cerebellum and then your right brain. Is everyone tracking, or do I need clarification? Type tracking down below. Yes, okay. Everyone tracking. Do you remember someone right hand is significantly slower? The speech is harder. So that's why in this situation, we can use the vibration on the right side of the body. We're going to stimulate our speech center to make our speech more clearly. You can think more clear, you can be more articulate. There's certain spot, we can put it at the back of our hand, back of our forearm, the wrist. We can put it on the face. We can put it at the front of the leg. There's certain specific point work better for certain symptoms. But in general, which eye is low, put it on that side. It's that simple. Is that simple enough? Type simple down below.
And this is the best thing you have heard so far this year. And see if we can find the root cause from the brain and not the symptom. You're using one method to stimulate multiple parts. And because one part of the brain controls different function, literally, like sometimes even with one method, you clear multiple symptoms because we know where it's coming from.
Anyone have any aha moment want to share? Anyone would think that's so simple, that's too good to be true? Anyone want to share something? Have you ever, where do we get the, okay. So this device, so let me show you something here. So as I say, there's like hundreds of different exercise of combination you can do. So this is only one of the many devices you can use. And we can also use different sensory. Remember, we can use your eye. We can retrain our eye in a really specific way to activate the brainstem, like for POTS people. I have a client. Let's call her Mary. We're gonna make up some name. She have POTS for 2 years. And then when I check her eye is kind of like moving around. And then I do like a special eye test on you. And I realize her head would shake every time he turned her neck. And then we find out the area that is not working, not only in the brainstem, but also in her neck. So this device, when we add some feedback, our brain needs feedback. I'm going to talk more about it. When your brain get the correct feedback to do the correct things, it's going to force your brain to work in a specific and correct way. So for my friend with POTS, we work with the eye and the neck together. Her POTS symptoms disappear in 1 hour. And I was so shocked. And then I asked her, That's really weird because this reflex, this eye movement usually only happen with neck injury. And then she finally tell me, yeah, I do whistling before when I was a teenager. And yeah, I don't know, that's affected to me this day. And the important lesson is everyone has a certain trauma, not necessarily trauma that you remember, probably some stress in your brain that they don't even realize. So that's why some people get hit, got slapped, or got whatever, got COVID just one time. Some people, fine, I get 10 COVID already. They're absolutely fine. Some people, they get really, really worse by just one things. So that's why there's a lot of things being accumulated. Okay, and we can use the eye, and then we can use like clapping. This is like a interactive metronome to force your brain into a timing pattern to retrain your frontal lobe to make it more attention, the timing, because we need to focus on when we need to do something, we don't want to interrupt some people because there's a timing issue. And then for light sensitivity, if you look at some of my video, I talk about the color glasses, like it filter the light so we don't feel really overwhelmed. So this might be a good temporary fix to help you with the sensation. But in the long term, we want to train you, use the glasses to progressively train you are able to tolerate glasses. And then we can use red light, like red laser. Probably maybe you've seen on the internet people shining like a giant laser beam to the head. This can directly increase the blood flow to the brain to a certain area. And we can use different eye, train their eye, things like that. And a lot of people ask me, hey, what if we don't have the device? That's a legitimate concern, right? The good news is most of the exercise, you don't need a really expensive equipment. I literally use my finger for my patient. At the beginning, when I don't have the budget, I use a vibrator, I use a facial cleaner, I use a massager that I can get on Amazon. It's all going to work. But of course, this is a medical grade. It's going to work 10 times faster. It just get you where you need to be, get it faster. And do you still remember I said your brain need feedback to learn? Type feedback down if you want to know why feedback is important. Feedback, okay. Have you ever like, let's go back to your childhood time. When you first learn how to write, you have like what's that called? Is it called scratchbook? You need to practice the line. If your writing is beautiful enough, there's like shadowing to follow, right? Is it called scratchbook? So when you don't have the scratchbook, you just write it on a blank paper. And then whatever you write, or at least for me, whatever I write, oh, my writing is the most beautiful writing in the whole world. I'm so proud. I'm good for now. But then when I go back to school, or I see it on the scratchbook, and I say, look at the girl next to me, I can't even imagine a word can be written like that. When I have comparison, all the things I do become so insignificant because I didn't do good enough. It is the same things for your brain. And this is the key point. All the exercise I'm going to show you next looks a lot of similar stuff, but they never get the same result. It's because they are lacking the specificity and the feedback. Your brain needs feedback and trial and error to actually learn new stuff. If you thought you're doing good, but you're not, you're only going to reinforce the wrong behavior, reinforcing the wrong behavior and mechanism even worse because you're training your brain to do something bad. So that's why people negative self-talk, they tend to be negative, 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 and become more negative. So all the device tell you Are you doing it correctly? Is my timing correct? Is my movement that I'm going to show you next is correct, or I'm just hallucinating, think I'm doing it correctly? So this make the all matter how fast you heal and how well you heal and how specific you are to your symptoms. Type specific down below if you agree specificity matters to you. So we have a lot of stuff here. Anyone feeling, I hope everyone is not overwhelmed, because this is literally a world-class masterclass. Oh. We put a lot of stuff here in this 3 hours masterclass. How many of you are enjoying the masterclass so far? Type a yes below if you're enjoying. Everyone saying yes. How many of you are excited for the coming time? I give you the one more method of how to regulate your brain. I know a lot of you guys are asking yourself the question, what is next? Is it okay if I share with you how me and my team to serve people at the highest level? Type another yes in the check box. So after this, I'm going to share one more thing, so make sure you stay. So cool. I see a lot of yes here. Have you ever heard an offer that give you like 5,900,000 stuff? Like you have to read this like 900 books of pages. You need to read every single word, and then you need to come up with the idea to check if that's working or not. You need to write a book report, spend all the time, go into the membership portal with like 9,000 others video, and then you'll get a result. Have you ever have such an offer like that? That sounds a lot of stuff, right? Type stuff below if you feel there's a lot of stuff. It sounds like you are having job interview to sign up another job. Like, I know I'm busy. I just want to get there right now. Have you ever opened your Google map like, hey, I want to go to probably not McDonald's. Let's go to something more healthy. Like, let's go to Walgreens, or like get something more healthy. It pop up and it show up there's a way. Oh, there's a faster way. It's going to save you 30 minutes. But it's going to take a toll highway. It's going to cost you, but it takes you way more. And you say, oh, just take me there right now. So I've designed something that will give you speed and result faster. And information alone, you don't need more information. And how many of you are busy, or how many of you just want the result? Type result down below if you just want to know how to get there. You just want the result. You don't really care how to get there. You just get there. Is that okay if I share with you how me and my team can serve you at the highest level? Type yes down below. So this might not be perfect for everyone, but it's going to be perfect for someone. Now, I want everyone to take out a pen and a paper to write this down, because it is going to be the secret sauce to get you there fast. What we have is an event at the end of November where we put all this stuff together, called the Brain Rebalance Accelerator. And a 10-week implementation intensive, we're going to hold you hand by hand and guide you through the secret brain rebalance blueprint. And you have all the elements I mentioned. The super brain wake-up protocol, we're going to focus on your gut health and some lifestyle changes that actually build a foundation to rebuild your brain and make sure you prepare for the next step. And then the second part is the root cause breakthrough session with all the other 50 testing and the reflex protect kit. So you get your brain function score. We know exactly which part of the brain is not working and causing your unexplained symptoms no one can solve. And then the last part is the brain rebalance reboot. I'm going to give you the specific exercise you need to do to fast track your healing by 15 times. Most people spend more than 3 years seeing countless of doctors, getting nowhere. Some heal, some get better, some never get there. With this system, I'm going to fast track your healing, accelerate your healing 15 times. So you can finally be symptoms free. No more dizziness, no more brain fog. Stop worrying about the next breakdown. Feel yourself again and enjoy once you enjoy doing again. And heal faster the breakthrough than you can imagine. At this world-class experience, you'll be surrounded by the best of the best in brain balance and gut health. We will help and encourage each other to make the world a better place with the balanced super brain we created in the room. And over 10 weeks, live coaching and implementation workshop is structured in a way that automatically turns those ideas into implementation in real time. So you don't live with just a bunch of notes right now. You live with all the actionable step toward the symptoms-free and get your life back. You can go out, you can drive, no more dizziness. So now imagine being free from the bondage of mysterious symptoms so you can advance your life, connect with your loved one, and feel strong again in your mind and body again. And in 10 weeks, you will have uncovered the root cause of your unexplainable symptoms and prime your brain for maximal result. Rebalance your brain so you can finally be symptoms-free, not worrying about what is the next breakdown. No more overwhelming brain fog, no more wobbling feeling, no more staring at the ceiling for hours at night, thinking when it is going to end and what is tomorrow looks like to me. Sounds good? So if you know this is for you and you're ready to heal, what I want you to do right now is open the chat down below. Dr. Joyce is going to drop a link down below. So everyone, you can book a call with me or my team. And on the call, we're going to dive deep into your unique situation and how our brain rebalance accelerator can help you. So any question on that? Do you think this is something you need or would be helpful? Type yes in the chat below. Yes, I see a lot of yes down there. Great. I'm happy you find a way to actually answer and show you the hope you can heal. Okay, so any question with the things I just said so far? If no, we're going to go to the final session of the second way how you can rebalance your brain. And okay, for the cost, since everyone have a unique situation, we're going to dive deep in the call to see if this is actually right fit for each other. So we will address that in the call. Any other question? Okay, so no. Okay, the next one, I'm going to show you.
I had a question.
Okay, yeah, sure.
When we were doing the exercises in the beginning, the finger test,
Yes.
my problem was the right. But then the other test, my problem is the left.
Okay.
So does that mean both sides of the brain is a problem and both sides of the cerebellum?
Do you mean when you do this
Yeah.
side slow, but when you do it here, the other hand feels slow?
When I did it this way, both are fine. But when I did it this way, the left is the problem.
Okay.
But the first one, the finger test, the
Yes.
right is slower.
Okay, let me share my screen here. So what I just explained in hour 1 and 2 is the most basic concept to get you to understand. someone asked, can you have multiple symptoms talking about multiple area of the brain? Your brain never work or never just one part of the brain being shut down. It could be, so for the cerebellum, it has some subsection. Some part is for your shoulder, some is for your elbow. So for some people have situation like that, that would be a multiple brain imbalance. It's like a multiple layer that layer together. So it could be one brain have a issue here, and then the other brain have issue somewhere else. So it is a layering problem, or could be coming from somewhere in between this pathway, maybe the brainstem as well. So this often give people this autonomic function like breathing, thought, things like that. So I would say that's definitely a more complex issue, but we can all explain with a simple model that I just mentioned like that. Is that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question that I need to clarify before I move to the last things, what you can do to rebalance your brain? Okay, cool. Let's talk about the second most common exercise I use. It's called the complex movement. Have anyone heard the word complex movement? Type movement down below if you heard about that, or hear me or anyone say that complex. Type complex below. Movement. Movement, okay. Why? So we all know when we move, we have to use our brain, right? But how are we able to only use or bias certain part of the brain so we get the most effect out of here or here? When we move, the whole brain is going to activate. But if we want to bias on heavily on the cerebellum, which help your balance, your thinking, your blood flow, your eye movement, your autonomic function, we need to find a way to try to activate more of the cerebellum. And how we are going to do it is the complex movement. Complex movement means anything is complex. Complex means not the regular things you in the daily life, not like, oh, I'm going to pick up these things. No. Complex movement means you need to coordinate. You need to try really hard to do it. It requires multiple movement of your body. So let me give you an example. So when I try to grab something, that's simple movement, is a linear movement. A movement that is complex is circular, or you're going to do certain complex or like certain motion following a pattern. There's a lot of different types, but the most common one is figure of eight. Everyone, let's try it right now. Turn on your camera. I invite you to turn on your camera and use the hand. You don't do the finger tapping well. Try to draw a figure of eight. Draw the number infinity or 8 on the air and see if you can do it smooth. If you can, try to do it on the other side. That is normal, and you will notice the difference. Anyone feel the difference that one side didn't move as easy than the other side? Type difference down below if you have a hard time to do the figure of movement on one side. Yes, difference. Yeah, so everything I told you, you don't need the complex MRI. You can, if you can do it, means exactly this part of the brain. Okay, we do the shoulder. Let's do the next part. We use our elbow because as I said earlier, the cerebellum has different subsection. Some control blood flow, some control eye movement, some control shoulder, some for the leg. So if you use shoulder and elbow, it's a different brain area. So let's try elbow right now. Let's stand up, do the elbow, and see if you can still do it smoothly. And you might be surprised, you can do pretty well on the shoulder, but you cannot do it on your elbow. Type elbow below if you find elbow is way harder than you think. And I want to give you a bonus point. What actually make this exercise work for you? Anyone remember what I just told you? What separate this exercise to a normal rehab? Type it in the chat if you remember. Complex movement, yes. But we need two principles in all brain movement or brain exercise to make it work. First is specificity, feedback, and one more is speed. Some people can do really fast on the complex movement, but try do it really, really slow. And you will be surprised. Some people can do it fast, but they cannot do it slow. Or when they could do it slow, they cannot do it fast. You need to find the secret is you need to find the point you cannot do it and then do it, which means you are strengthening the brain area that is not functioning. At the time, you literally feel some change on the movement. It must mean that brain area responsible for the symptoms also change because they are all connected and can be traced back. Is this helpful? Type a yes down below if this give you an aha. Someone asked, how long does the exercise need? Surprisingly, how long do you guys think you need to do? Do you think we should do it as much as we can? Type it in the chat. You want it more or less? What would you think? Brain training is different than workout. It's a brain workout, but it's totally opposite. You don't want to do too much. You want to find the correct amount. You want to find the correct amount that strengthen that brain area without overloading your nervous system. And finette, yes. If we do it too much, it will make the things worse because it has to be based on your body situation. How many of you guys have worked out before? Or even not work out, how many of you guys go running before? How many of you can run for 10 minutes? 30 minutes? If you can only run for 10 minutes, but you force yourself, no, I have to get there. I have to get there on time. And I keep running for another 30 minutes. What would happen? Probably you strain yourself, you injure somewhere, probably the next day, maybe it takes you weeks for you to catch up what's the things you overexert on your body. So the golden rules is find the correct intensity and then the amount that's suitable to your need and your body situation. And if you even want it to be better, faster, when we do it, we don't even know if we're doing it correctly. Even for myself, I see this every single day, but I have no idea if I do it correctly. So this time I need feedback. So we can use different equipment, maybe a diagram on the wall, use some laser to actually give us feedback, and it's literally feedback to tell us, am I doing it correctly? And this part alone can then determine a success or no. That gives you a huge change in your symptoms. You can still try by yourself, but if it is not helping, probably we need to try different approach. Maybe we can use our eye. We can use all this cranial nerve. Remember, I still said there's hundreds of ways to do it. There's always one way would work for you. So this is what and how we're going to find out. When you know how to do the test, you know how to do, you just reverse the pathway and you'll be done. How about let's hear some question or takeaway of what you have learned today so far. Anyone ready to rebalance your brain today? Type me or you can unmute and share. Yep. It's almost coming to the end of the masterclass. Anyone here today learned something new today? Type yes in the chat. I give you everything you need to get rid of your symptoms. So let's recap. We find out your root cause, test which part of the brain is not working, and you do the specific training to that root cause, and then the symptoms will be gone. It's a 3-step system. It's easy, and I use it every single day to solve all the unexplained symptoms where medical see is not possible. Before I end the call today, any other question? I would like to end this masterclass using my favorite quote. It's from Albert Einstein. We cannot solve our problem with the same thinking we used to when we created them. When we master the body-mind, we are willing to go through pain and use a vision of being reach a new level of understanding success in our life. When the body-mind master us, we endure great suffering until change is forced reaction that leads to a breakthrough or the ultimate breakdown. So thank you, everyone. I hope you start rebalance your brain and get rid of your unexplained symptoms and put this into the action. For those who want to act now and get rid of their symptoms and get your life back, use the link below to book a call with me or my team, and we will see how I can serve you. And there's also a fast booking bonus. If you schedule the call within tonight or tomorrow and show up, we're going to give you $3,000 discount from the offer. And I never do this before. So I hope everyone have a good night, and I will see you somewhere else. So I will keep this chat open for another 5 to 10 minutes so that you can get access to the link. So good night, everyone. I hope you learned something new today. Okay, bye-bye.